Hey guys, what is up? We are M.I.Diverse. We are back. It's been a little bit of a weird couple days. It's been a week. Yeah, we actually were gone for a week. We had some stuff we had to take care of. And it's a little bit it's a little bit of a hopping subject, but we're still on the subject of film. Now, last week obviously we were talking about spoilers, but Jenna kind of brought a good subject up is film festivals. Film festivals are a thing. Film festivals are probably like the best way for independent filmmakers, not just like independent like filmmakers to get their work out, get their visions out. So I think I we thought that was a really good subject. So Jenna, do you want to open the floor? Open the door, get on the
Yeah, so
floor?
I brought up this topic because last weekend I went to a film festival that accepted my trailer that
Hmm.
I worked on. And now I should probably preface this at the beginning, since most time what I'm going to say, especially about the film festival, is going to be rather scathing, I will admit.
Well, yeah.
But please do not, do not ever go after any film festival mentioned. It helps no one. And if you
Hmm.
do, you're not doing it to valiantly defend us. You're doing it selfishly so you can make yourself feel better about yourself. So if you don't want to end up like that, do not go after any film festival mention. Like they are ultimately trying to live their lives and continue to help a community thrive. So just all I'm saying is that I really want the industry. I don't know if I want to call it an industry. It's like a community. It's something. I don't know, a group, a gathering, a, 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 a gaggle of geese. I don't know. I want to see potential in it. And if I have to be harsh in order to let them flourish and get better, then it's like, so be it. And that said, I'm also aware that I only have ever been to two film festivals, so my knowledge is going to be rather limited in that regard. So take or leave some of the stuff I say, or some of the stuff we say.
Yeah. I, and I've been to a film festival too. Actually, it was a little bit more of like it was kind of like a comprehensive study kind of project during college of because my town has this little it's kind of a smaller town or my county to be realistic. It's not in my town per se. It's called Hell's Half Mile. I mean, realistically, they really only they show the movies in one theater, but it's a whole film festival. Everybody is like showing off their work, all that stuff during the year. And I think, not just the films themselves, but I think there's also just the culture around film festivals too, especially for small towns. I I'm not I don't know why I'm trying to like defend myself saying small town and like I'm saying Bay City, Michigan. But I think it helps with the tourism for a town like that because otherwise, I mean, you do get tourists, but you don't get like film critic tourists or like big studio type people like looking out for like these type of things or whatever. So otherwise, yeah. But yeah, at least that's one thing I have to like note about like the physicality of film festivals to say. So
Yeah,
I
and so the film festival that I went to recently last weekend, it was called the Indie Gathering International Film Festival, which is in Columbus, Ohio. And it's actually my second time that I was there since last year. They accepted
Mhm.
my short documentary. I think you guys probably remember that,
Yeah.
about the dangers of AI. Last year's version, at least from what I heard, the film festival got screwed over by the venue space because I think how it went was the hotel venue took the rooms that were booked by the film festival goers and then flipped them to give to people going to a country concert. Since I saw people at the hotel I was staying at wearing a lot of country gear. So part of me was like, I wanted to give them a second chance since this was probably not like them at their A game.
Yeah.
But however, perhaps maybe I was a bit too kind, or maybe I was morbidly curious to see what kinds of people would be there. And so when I went there last weekend, they had great people. They were great people. I chatted with a few filmmakers, but most of the stuff I was able to see were just plain awful. They were just bad. Either terrible editing, non-existent acting, scenes dragging for too long, or don't even get me started on the fact they also have an AI film category, which is a big yikes.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, so when I mentioned my grievances about the indie gathering to another filmmaker, they talked they talked about that most film festivals are going to have a few select movies or shorts that are actually good. And I imagine that's also true even with festivals that have strict quality control and doesn't entirely matter if they like reject a lot of projects or not. And it's like, yeah, from what I witnessed, there's definitely truth to that. As like I
Mhm.
said, most are either were either boring or plain terrible. It's like
Yeah.
symbolism and abstraction will only get you so far before it becomes a lazy excuse for bad planning and lack of direction. And
Hmm.
some people might say, well, what if it's their first project? To which I say, what if it's their 20th or so
Hmm.
project? It's like at least with the creator's very first projects, they actually have room to grow and improve and such. But if it's their 20th or so project and it still sucks, then it's like you're just a bad creator. I don't know what to
Yeah.
tell you. And also another thing as well. I don't care how low your budget is. If you can afford the camera equipment, the lighting equipment, audio equipment, and editing software that probably have monthly subscription fees, you can afford to get artists even if you're just
Yeah.
loaning all the stuff from a friend, that also means you are more than capable of contacting an artist. You probably know of an artist in life who can absolutely make stuff for you, probably for free if they wanted to, and if especially they love the project so much that you are making, it's just there's no excuse. There's no excuse for using AI generative slop.
Yeah, no, exactly. And kind of to add to something you said before about how a lot of the projects are very, I don't want to say rudimentary, but kind of,
They don't always follow conventional narrative.
yeah,
Kind of
like,
mid.
yeah, I'm trying to think of the word. It's very novice. Like, and I get, I would say avant-garde's a little bit of a little bit of why am I blanking on the word? It's a little bit of a nice way to say that. I definitely think there are some times that people that go into film festivals, there are cases where you can tell who's just this is some kid whose parents keep buying them like all the nice equipment just because they want to do something, not because they actually have like a passion for it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like in regards to what you said, bad camera work, bad acting, all that kind of stuff, or whatever. It's like, well, yeah, that kind of follows kind of like when you're sitting through a film festival, you can really tell, like, especially the advent of AI, of like certain creators not wanting, like, just wanting to get a product out instead of actually putting the work and passion that goes into like making a piece of art, really, realistically. John, it looked like you kind of wanted to say something. I didn't want to talk over you too much.
No, you're fine. So I definitely agree on what you guys are saying. I definitely agree that y especially nowadays, you do know when filmmakers have a passion for something. When you know when someone has a passion for something on how they make it and how they
Hmm.
create it. And then if they don't have the passion for the project, you also know that.
Yes.
Watching a lot of different movies in my past and all, you can tell when people are passionate about something and when people are just doing it because they're just there. There's
Yeah.
Yeah.
difference. There's definitely a difference when I've watched like when I'm watching like either like when I've watched The Lord of the Rings, you can definitely tell there's a lot of passion in that movie, in those
Hmm.
movies. When you watch The Hobbit, yes, there's semi passion, but it's not there because they're like, okay, let's just get rid of the other dude and we'll just pull in Peter Jackson to direct or something. Peter Jackson did not want to direct Hobbit, by the way, guys. He did not want to do that, but he basically he was forced to. So,
No,
but anyhow, yeah, you can definitely tell.
and yeah, and that goes for like big like event, big picture movies or whatever, because you can tell that where the passion is and like when something's just like a paycheck or whatever
Oh
by
yeah,
like the level of work that goes into it, the level
Or
of yeah,
yeah.
no, go ahead.
Or not even just like a lack of passion, or I think it's just I don't know
lack
what
of
it is.
experience.
Lack of
Uh,
experience, yes, definitely. Or
mhm.
like or some people thinking they just made like the best thing ever, but it's like hot garbage.
Yeah.
I
I
think
mean,
so. Not understanding filmmaking as an art form. I think
mhm,
that's really where it is because there's a lot of people who say they want to be a filmmaker. There's a lot of people who say they want to be a film director, but they don't understand. They say they want to do it, but they don't understand themselves as to okay, why do you want to do it
mhm,
per se?
Yeah, or
yeah.
like whenever you're watching something, it's like what's the point of this story? What are you trying to say in this? And
Yeah.
it's like I mean, granted, I have not seen a whole lot of abstract movies, but I would imagine that at least with some abstract movies, there's or at least the good ones, they have some like they have at least one foot in reality. It's like, okay,
Hmm.
I'm not expecting masterclass stuff from film festivals. I mean, it depends on which film festival it is. It's just I want something that's actually good and well thought out, no matter how simple it is. So, like I said, even good experimental and abstract films have at least one foot in reality. But it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's just a me thing, wanting these creations to be better than some of the crap coming out of Hollywood. But I don't know.
Hmm.
Maybe that's asking too much. But I still think that it's like, come on, we can do better than this.
I think there's also just it and the only I hate to say it, the only like defense I can ever, it's not even really a defense, but you have writers who don't know people that are filmmakers, like visual filmmakers that have a story to tell, and then they get the people that meet people or they know people that say they wanted to tell a visual story, but then they don't know how to tell a visual story. Like, I'm not saying I'm good with camera work, you know, but I could probably, if you give me a story beats, you give me a story idea, then we can work around this, and I can at least try to visualize it in the best way that I can. Like I said, I am far from being a professional. I'm far from being good, but I at least like part of the conversation that we've had here is like I feel like I have the passion to at least get how I want to show the world through using the camera as my eye, how I want to envision this story. And if you're just kind of going hard on what am I trying to say here? Frame
Frame
I have
by
a
frame.
framing is very, important too. And outside of even film festivals, I did like 2 to 3 years of film courses in college. And you tend to notice who's just doing it for just oh, I want to make it big. And then some of their projects probably would just be a lot better for like a YouTube like short or whatever. And then what has like a lot higher like quality in like filmmaking, production levels, lighting, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't know how else to put it. Like to put it nicely, there are some of these film festival movies. It's like I could have just I shouldn't have had to pay like $20 to see this thing. I could have just like sat like in my living room or like at my computer and watched this for free. Like I think it also just kind of goes to that, you know, like I said, I, I'm I'll shoot myself in the foot. I work with a lot of miniatures, so sometimes it is a little bit of a learning curve for me to go back out into the world and shoot like larger scale, like actual people. But, if you have a love for that art form, if you have a love for the thing, then I would still say go do it. But I definitely see that there's the lack of, drive or the lack of not creativity, but you get what I mean?
Yeah. It's like that one quote, I can't remember where I heard it from, but it was I've never ridden a helicopter, but if I saw one in a tree, I'd be like, dude messed up. It's not supposed to be up there.
Oh yeah, like you don't necessarily have to be expert in a field to recognize when something's like poorly done. But if you go with the intention of you want something to look like it's handheld POV, that's going to be the way I'm going to say that. Like a handheld POV movie shot or whatever, go ahead. But then don't go and have like a super crisp 4K like close up of your like starring actress or whatever, like mogging on the camera or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, because it just doesn't like flow, not flow, but it just messes up like the whole like viewing experience of like if you have like a 280p like or 240p video like going across the screen, you try to make it seem like it's like that's the point it's supposed to look like that, and then like your actress, oh god, your actress is in like 4K, like it's
Mm,
like you have to have, I feel like you need to have like a consistent visual style.
yeah.
I this is a little bit of a minor thing. Maybe I just want to say this, that one thing I appreciate with indie movies compared to big budget movies, it's a very small thing. When they do video calls, it's actually a video call and not just, oh, we recorded something on a 4K camera. It's a very small thing, but I just really appreciate when you can tell that they're not like using professional material. I'll say materials. They're not using professional materials to shoot something. It literally looks like they just shot it like on a 720p camera that whoever, or like an iPhone camera or whatever, like an older crappier iPhone camera. There's something about that. It I just think it helps with the world building. Sorry, we're getting into film festivals. I'm going into like the filmmaking
Yeah.
part.
But
John, you have other notes. I want to hear them because I want to bounce off of that.
So basically, the one thing I was thinking was we already talked about style. So my
hmm
last note on the subject was film festivals is the best way to share your film to the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I was like, yeah, go ahead. Go if there's more
Oh,
you want to
okay.
elaborate.
Yeah. So I think I truly appreciate when with film festivals that you can meet other people too,
hmm
and it's a way of talking to other people to talk about. I think this is one of the problem with film with new filmmakers,
hmm
particularly in indie, is because they don't understand their style of filmmaking.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just want to say, "Oh, I want something to look like this," or "I want something to look like blank." But the problem is that person who made blank look like what it looks like is because they had the experience to make it look like what it looks like in
Yeah.
that. So when you
And
don't understand what everybody's doing, such as your cinematographer,
hmm
your DP, when you don't understand what everybody else is doing, and also in the editing room with colorization. I've heard that I heard that somebody said like they complained about the HP show because it looked too dark. So they just lightened it up. They all they had to do was just lighten up the video.
I mean,
Just lighten it up.
to
It
be
was
fair,
fine.
color
It,
grading in modern movies is just dog crap.
yeah, color grading needs to improve.
Although
Um,
I think we're still stuck in the Game of Thrones phase.
Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
gosh.
But kind of to add on to your thing, I really do think, you know, outside of like YouTube nowadays, because everybody can just like share their like independent film on YouTube nowadays. Like, yes, film festivals are probably the best way for a small creator who wants to share like their independent films level film to a film festival because, you know, it it costs a lot of money to I assume it probably costs a lot of money to rent a theater out. And like unless you're probably like getting your family to come, it's going to be hard to be like, hey, we're going to one theater one night only to show this film. But I know it costs a good amount of money to insert your film into a film festival as well. It's probably not cheap. I mean, Jenna, you entered your film into a film festival. Did they charge you anything, or was it like free
No,
admission?
I think I don't remember, but it wasn't that much. Maybe it might have been like $20 for
Okay,
submission.
maybe it was just the film festival I was looking at. But it's
I mean, it
like you're still
depends.
spending money.
I mean, it depends on the film festival because sometimes, yeah, like some of them are pretty cheap in terms of submission. Like I said, some of them are like they can be as low as $20, but that's only if like they have like an early bird deadline
Yeah,
because, you know, for because as the date gets closer to the deadline, the cost goes up.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, and I really think that yes, you know, if you don't want to just like share your thing to like 900 people or like 50 people on YouTube, putting your short film into a film festival is probably it's going to be your best bet. But you also have to market it pretty good.
Yeah, and also the
Yeah.
thing is with like YouTube is that it's just an unpredictable market
Hmm.
anyway, and there's just way too much stuff on YouTube,
Yes.
especially with like indie projects. At that point, it's more about how can you stand out from the crowd at that point? And for me,
Yes.
it's like I don't really want to engage with that market just because everyone's doing it, and then there's just too much of that.
I mean, it is a competitive market. Everybody
And
is
not
out. No, go ahead.
and not even just competitive, but also just and also YouTube can just completely remove your videos or your ad or like your revenue and not even give you an answer as to why.
It's kind of because you have a lot of indie creators, not just in the film like industry, like people that do like cartoons. That I know, what was it? Pan Pizza was making his own cartoon a while back. He actually no, he put it out and it didn't take. It was only up for a little bit, and then YouTube took it down. I think because apparently like they were demonetizing a lot of animators and such. And yeah, it's kind of a YouTube as a whole is not like the best space to put your independent project out, even like even in an AI post, not would it say post AI world or a mid AI world, whatever. With AI being like as prevalent as it is, you're better off showing people in public that you actually made something than showing it to an algorithm that you made something just shooting for shooting for the stars to see what happens.
Yeah, and I also found that Vimeo like
Hmm.
is also a place where people upload
I
their
think
indie stuff.
Yeah, I think Vimeo is usually pretty good space for like showing off independent film work just because I think the algorithm and like the sharing platforms just a lot better maintained than than YouTube per se. It's not as much of a Wild West, so to
Yeah.
speak. It yeah, they I don't want to say they take themselves a little bit more seriously than YouTube, but you can definitely tell like obviously on YouTube you can go from watching like a really well animated I'm just like grasping at straws here, but I'm just kind of going off of my own example or memory is you get like a really well animated like Team Fortress 2 animation and then like on the complete other side of it you get like some dude using AI to like make Bluey a werewolf or whatever. Fucking sorry, I'm swearing, but but we're already past that time. So but yeah, no, I think yes, Vemo's a lot of a better place if you're not going to be putting it into a film festival just because of how that website is maintained. Yeah, and that kind of a good segue just to kind of talk about like modern like not just like modern film, obviously modern film festivals, is I think the people that run these festivals are more because you mentioned about how you went to a film festival, but like the venue got bought out by like a country festival or whatever. I think is sometimes the
Well,
film.
okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Well,
No,
no,
go
I
ahead.
mean like they still had the venue there. It was just the rooms.
Oh,
People's rooms got flipped for concert goers. That's what it was.
oh, okay, okay. I was gonna say I will say that especially I will say nowadays though, it does kind of feel like film as an art form is still not taken as completely seriously now that we have like short form video and all that kind of stuff. I
Yeah.
think that's also why AI has become so prevalent because everybody's just making product to get out there. And I feel like these people that hold these festivals see how lucrative it is, and it sounds bad to say it like that, but like these some of these people are only just seeing it for the dollar signs, and unfortunately, the people that only see the dollar signs, that's why we have cases of like big studios working with AI companies to replace a bunch of artists when film and all this other kind of stuff is meant for like artists to express themselves. And if we're just like going to let a bunch of people, uncreative people, to think that they're creative, to put crap out there for other people, it just kind of devalues the art form for everybody else in the on the big stage and even the small stage.
Yeah, and that's why I just feel frustrated that the indie gathering would even show AI.
Hmm.
It's like this is actually this is not even like something funny. This is actually very serious. This is an actual problem. And it's just now that I see that they are just way too lenient on what they select, since they seem to be way too lenient on what they select and they accept projects with AI and AI slop all together. It's like I don't feel like I want to be a part of that anymore. I mean, again, unless they stop using AI. And also the other thing is they start writing up descriptions and showing images to what each project is about because they don't do
Hmm.
that for some reason. Meanwhile, with something like, I mean, Capital City Film Festival,
Hmm.
which is another one I went to just to, I went to last year just to see the type of stuff that they have. And it was one of the film festivals that rejected my work, which, rejection will happen, it's just part of the indie film world. You will
Yes.
get rejected a lot. And yeah, they have descriptions for each of their stuff, even the shorts and the features. And while most of the stuff there is better in quality than Indie Gathering, there were still things that bothered me. Like, for example, the animated shorts segment was and is, last I checked for next year's selection and schedule, they were mostly comprised of shorts from one university.
Hmm.
So yeah, take that. Like make your own conclusion with that. And one of the bad movies that I saw at Indie Gathering got accepted into this one. So it's kind of like, where do we draw the line here? Or sometimes, or maybe sometimes for some of these film festivals, they're just kind of like, whatever. Let's just put in whatever based off of vibes.
Yeah, that's kind of from what you're talk explaining is like that's kind of the you know feeling I'm getting from that. A lot of them are either just like, oh, we'll put in whatever, and then you get like some AI slop that has looks like it'll do like big numbers, but then like you know it maybe documentaries don't do as well as like say something on like cinematography like levels, but I still think like documentaries still have their place in film festivals.
Yeah.
It's not a big budget action movie or like artsy fartsy movie per se. It's like documentaries or films in themselves. You have 2 hour like documentaries you can sit through that. I mean, half the time, half the time I'm sitting instead of watching a movie, I'm like basically listening to a documentary about like the rise and fall of like a specific like store or brand or all that kind of stuff because it's just like in not inhaling that information, but like consuming that information just feels very. I like that. I like getting
Yeah.
my information through documentary.
And the thing is, a few of there were, and two of the movies that I actually liked at Indie Gathering were documentaries. And like
Yeah.
one was about a basically a wrongfully convicted person, and the other was about a bar and
Hmm.
the owners of that bar and just them telling stories.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing about documentaries I appreciate is like people sharing their story outside of what happened to X or Y thing. I just wanted to make that small point because I've been talking over and I haven't heard John's voice in like 5-10 minutes, so I want John to say something, please.
Yeah, I like what everyone's saying in this, and I'm glad you guys are very passionate about film festivals. In fact, isn't that how we all met? There's a film festival, a think tank. That's how we all met.
It is kind of funny because
Yeah, it
yeah, we met at a
was.
film festival. Yeah.
The
So
A.
let's tell our audience how that went down. How we all
So
quick
for people
recap.
that are watching at home that don't know, this could probably be kind of like a little bit of a catch-up episode to, this. Sorry, I need to clean my glasses really bad. So this project actually started like a couple years ago, and we were kind of getting through a little bit of a stalemate. I'm going to be honest, like production wise, because we didn't know really what we wanted to do, and obviously our first like concept of the show we already put a bunch of the episodes that we got out with a different host. No shade towards the host, but it was just not working out with this third host. So it was about a year or two ago. We were doing this like big film festival because the owner of the studio opened up the studio for like everybody to come in and like showcase everything they were doing. And we ended up meeting John. And everything really hit off. And and this is also kind of, to toot John's horn, is like very just the vibes that I got from all three of us talking together. I really felt like there was a lot better vibes with the three of us than the other host. Like I'm saying, this is not in detriment or to throw shade at the other host. It's just, this is vibes wise. I just feel like this was a lot better. You know what I mean, Jenna? Can you agree?
Yeah, oh yeah. It's like, yeah, we were just talking a lot about our thoughts on the stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, this could work.
Yeah, like I feel like when we sat down with you, John, like there was a lot more passion. Like we could feel the passion, and like we have different areas of expertise. I feel like how we started, obviously I do a lot of the cinematography. Jenna, you are very very like writing oriented. John, I know you are writing oriented as well, but you're very passionate about like costume design or like other art designs or whatever. I think we're all kind of passionate about like art and design and like these types of like media. So I think that's why I really thought it hit off because like there was a lot more to it, a lot more into the conversation. Like I could feel the passion and the soul in the conversation, and that's why we kind of thought we would do that. It's kind of funny. It's like kind of became a segue from like talking about you know film festivals to, oh yeah, we met at a film festival. This is why we've been doing this. But I think like just the how our conversations kind of go through and how everything flows through. I think just there's a natural just like I felt the back and forth when we were doing this. I mean, what do you feel? Can you agree, John? Is that how you
Oh
feel
yeah.
with like how our back and forth feels?
Oh yeah. The back and forth between I really did like the idea of us just when we were at the show, we were just the three of us just sitting down and having great conversation.
Yeah,
And that's really what sparked the whole idea of the podcast was just like we just want to have a conversation. We just want
yeah,
to have a conversation. We might not agree on everything,
yeah. You don't have to.
and I'm okay with that. But
No.
that's the joy of it. That's the joy of like just understanding everybody's points of view. And
Yeah,
that's what's so great.
exactly. I think like because we don't necessarily agree like fully that we can give each other's like views on different things and give it like a not a conflicting but or maybe contrasting might be the better word because me and Jenna might have totally separate opinions about certain subjects or whatever we can put in our input. But it's not like me shooting Jenna down on her thought or idea. I'm just giving a separate or very like just in what's a word to add on to that or to just kind of give an opposition to it. I think like yeah, we don't always have to agree on everything because if we agree on everything, then it's
Then it'd
all
be
just like
boring.
on one note. Yeah,
Like, yeah, then what would we have
It's
to
like
talk about?
it's like this is what passion looks like, everybody. This is
Yeah.
yeah,
what
because
it
like
looks like.
behind the scenes, you don't know this, but well, D23 is this weekend, and
Oh yes.
I I've been sharing a lot of the stuff that's been coming out this weekend, and we've been talking about this for like what the last 2 3 weeks or whatever. So like it's just funny that like we have a passion for the art forms,
Yes.
and I've been sending like all the stills and videos of Catherine Hahn as Mother Gothel, and
She is eating it up.
it,
I am
I
so
joked it.
happy for her.
I joked it in the chat, but it's giving mother. It's giving
Gothel.
Mother Gothel. Like you
It-
read, but I really think like yes, it's
and you know, I just want to say something about that because I want to say I'm so happy for Catherine Hahn, and I appreciate the thing that I appreciate the most from this video from D23. For everyone, also D23 is also kind of a film festival, so we're
it
not
kind
throwing
of
it
is.
at the best.
It kind of is.
Yeah, it kind of is. Anyway, let me. I just want to put in my say. Thank. I love that Catherine Hahn thanked the fans. That's what I appreciate. Is she thanked the fans because if it weren't for the fans saying she should play the role, she wouldn't have gotten the role. So I appreciate that she thanked the fans of Tangled to say it should be her to play the role. She got the role. She's killing the role. I can't. 2028 cannot come fast enough
I
for
will. Oh,
March of 2028. Not fast enough. I don't want to push it. I'm just saying.
I actually, this is kind of something you were talking about earlier, Jenna, and kind of the thought of like casting specific characters or specific actors for characters kind of made me kind of brought it up to actually fully bring it back into the film festival part, especially because like working on a small a short film for a class that we probably were going to put in a film festival. I do feel like in certain film festivals, some of these people tend to get people who they find are attractive for the camera who cannot act. It's like
Yeah.
I would rather go back to the time when we have a schlumpy actor who can act than some frickin' Riz Lord mogging on the camera or some really hot actress who has like frickin' like I don't want to get to, I'll just say like they got like Botox face or whatever or like some sort of like plastic up face or whatever. It's like if that's all your acting is, you should just go into modeling. You shouldn't go into acting.
Although I think sometimes, although I know not sometimes, it's almost always, I feel like it's the director, it's the director's job to actually direct the
Oh,
actors
that
and
too.
how they're supposed to act. And if I see bad acting, it's like I blame the director.
And sometimes you can't act around a bad script. Go ahead, John.
I will say regarding the bad acting kind of thing, I think it's also because people who are starting up as directing don't know how to give directions to their
Yes.
actors.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the problem.
And I'll say for earlier projects, I was being a little bit too much of a nice guy, yes man. And I know now that when you're directing, sometimes you just have to be a little bit of a dick. It
Hmm.
just out of being like even you can go back and say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I was a little bit in that kind of like frustrated mood." Like sometimes if you're wanting your vision to be in the perfect way that you want it to end up, you have to be a little bit of a dick to make sure that your cast or crew,
Or it's a way of you saying, I want my character to act like this. Like this is the
yes,
thing I'm telling you that this is what the character needs to be doing right now, kind of
yes,
thing.
yeah,
Or the problem is they're focusing more on the exposition, if you will, rather than
mhm,
the personality.
yes, and and kind of going back to just like actors or whatever, it's like I feel like sometimes just like getting hot actors. Yes, is it good for marketability? But don't expect like the whole movie to ride on the hot actor if the hot actor really can't act per se. If they're just there to look good and like stone
Or if the
face into
actor
the camera.
can't sing, or if the actor can't sing.
Honestly, that too. And I'm sorry to say, sorry we're jumping out of the film festivals argument one more time because we just seen a thing about like Camp Rock. They just announced Camp Rock 3 or whatever.
Yes.
All those actors, very attractive actors,
I
but
will defend one person in this whole
so
Mother Tucking movie. I will defend one person, and I know she can sing. Miss Leomani Segura. She can sing. I
yes.
defend her. You know, I watched Descendants 5 a while ago with a friend of mine. You know what
Hmm.
the most criminal thing of that whole movie was?
Hmm.
Leomani did not get a single in the whole movie. You couldn't give her a single.
Yeah. I feel like we need to give people who have the passion and have the talent to do things a chance.
And
And
it's like I get that again, sometimes it's their first project. Fine. It's a
hmm
learning curve. You're still, but that's the thing. You're still learning. You're still improving. But
hmm
if you're on your 10th or 20th project and you still make garbage, then I don't know what to tell you. You are terrible.
I mean, look at Eli Roth. He puts stuff that probably should only be in film festivals out into the world. Ice Cream Man or whatever that new one is.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, so and honestly, it really does to do with just film in general. It is down to everybody on the team. It is to the fault of everybody on the team. I earlier, not even maybe. I was. Earlier was I just blaming bad actors? Yes. But it really, like we're all saying, it really comes down to the whole team. And if the whole team is just being kind of just either not cooperative, actors not being cooperative, or the directors being too much of a yes man to one specific actor because, hey, I know that guy from something or whatever. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, heck, I was at a panel at Indie Gathering, and one of the panels mentioned about when it came to acting and auditions. The one thing you got to be careful about is that if you're going to audition, then you need to audition everyone. You
Mm-hmm.
can't just. So that's why it's like you need to be selective on who you choose in the role. I think that was the point that he was making.
Yeah, so it really is just everybody on the team needs to cooperate. And if there is just a little bit of miscommunication or no cooperation between one department and the other, it really shows and then it hurts the whole project because you might have some people that want the project to look like one way and then the director or the actor wants it to look another way and then that hurts the project in general. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I guess too, since we're running a bit on time, I do want to bring it back to overall
Mhm.
film festivals. It's like I think really with film festivals, like what your experience is based on like I mean for me anyways, it really is based off of what you make of it,
Mhm.
what you do with it. 'Cause it's like, yeah, there absolutely are going to be like no matter how many they select, there's probably going to be a select few that are only going to there's only going to be a select few that are actually going to be good and the rest
Mhm.
are going to be garbage. But I mean, I don't know. That's
Mhm.
just that's just me and like I feel like part of me is a little harsh when it comes to film festivals because like I say some people might say, "Oh, but these people are up and coming and young," but it's like, "Well, welcome to the industry and sometimes it can be brutal." But yeah, it's
No, no,
brutal.
you're right. It's true. So,
So, yeah, I think if I want to give some piece of advice to up and coming filmmakers, it's like do research on film festivals that
mhm.
you think about, that you even think about wanting to go in and see if it's a perfect fit for you because sometimes it may not be a perfect fit for you.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's like the one I went to, Indie Gathering, it's like great people. Most of the stuff are awful, but yeah, it's
I
really what you make of it sometimes.
I was gonna say I really there you also tend to notice like some people are just doing it to be artsy fartsy, but
Yeah.
I really didn't get to say that earlier. So, I mean, John, before we leave, was there anything you wanted to add?
No, I don't think so. I think I pretty much had my say, and I think the best advice we can really give filmmakers, especially indie filmmakers today, is just be yourself. Bring
Yeah,
the movie you want to tell. So,
put your whole self into it, right?
And also, like, even if you're making a very symbolic, abstract, experimental movie, it's like, just make it good. Make it at least have like one foot in reality
Hmm.
instead of like I say, symbolism can only go so far before it becomes an excuse for bad direction.
Yeah, and you kind of have to. I'm going to be honest. You also kind of have to put it into the perspective of remember the quote from Blazing Saddles. The people, these are the people of the land, the people of the common land. They're morons sometimes. You have to kind of dumb it down for some people sometimes. So, but otherwise, well, we are M.I.Diverse. We try to stay on subject. We really do. I mean, it really was very evident in this episode. So, but please like, comment, subscribe, share all that beautiful stuff, and you know, share us on, like us on Facebook, like us on Twitter. I'm still trying to figure out like timing for other or like side accounts or whatever. But please share the crap out of this. I'm seeing some those view numbers and subscriber number go up to a point. So thank you guys who are subscribing and viewing for watching. So please, like I said, do all that stuff. Share the crap out of it. We will see you guys next week. I'm Dryw. That's John. That's Jenna. And we'll see you guys later.